Sometimes they have the ability to teach a lesson. Sometimes they're there just for silliness and fun. But whatever the age of the child, even all the way up to older ones, I used to read them with my 7th graders. Kids love picture books. They have so much in them that can really make readers fall in love with reading. If you like stories like I Say Ooh and You Say Ah, that are interactive, that get kids up and get them moving, then you will also love the ones from this series. This is Frog and this is Owl. We even have one called This is Crab. In this, the kids might be sticking out their tongue one minute or making ribbit noises. There are so many things that will get a child involved in the story and let them see that picture books are fun, interactive, and can bring lots of joy. Sometimes there are stories that can inspire kids to want to write their own larger than life story, just like the biggest story here. It's so much fun as the little boy navigates his way through his own storytelling when his mom is too busy to tell a story with him. And by the end of it, he has this wonderful tale that shows up in like a comic strip type version. And what I really love is by the end, you have a little template here that a child can use to create his or her own story. Lots of fun, lots of involvement with this one. Don't you just love a good story that gets kids thinking about their life and maybe the things that they should be happy with and content with, just like where happiness lives. This one here walks through the life of our mouse friend who is looking at someone else's home thinking maybe he wants to live in that style home that's bigger and nicer, and then they realize there's even a bigger home. And what is the twist, the thing that really gets you as the reader is by the end of the story you discover that the little mouse who has been in the big huge home on top of the hill has actually been looking down at the smaller homes below that are full of fun and family and all those things. So where happiness lives, besides the cutouts and all the cool features, it really has a good lesson that can be learned about being content with what you have. Sometimes we all just need to breathe and do a little yoga, and that's exactly what can happen when reading this fabulous picture book that walks kids through different yoga poses. It is fun, it's interactive, it's imaginative. Kids will learn true poses. They will learn different ways to be calm, and I love the one at the end here. We've got beautiful illustrations. We have the one where we are, let's see, imagine you're the tiniest, quietest mouse. Can you stay as still as can be without making a sound? So a great way to get kids to find something useful that they can use for the rest of their life when they're learning these yoga poses. I absolutely adore rhyming books. I like the ones that are almost like tongue twisters, kind of Dr. Seuss-ish. And that's exactly what you'll find with Pandemonium. It is a fun read aloud because there's so much rhythm, so much rhyme. I love the beautiful illustrations. I love how you almost do have a tongue twister going when you're reading this one. And it's fun, it's exciting. It's definitely not one that's meant for bedtime because it gets the kids a little riled up by the end of it. A cute, cute read aloud, one that they are sure to love and want to read over and over again. Boy is one of those picture books that really sticks with you. Our young character here, he's deaf. He uses sign language in the story to try to get the villagers and the dragon to understand what he's saying, and no one can understand him. He doesn't understand why they have been fighting for so long, and so he asks the question on here, uses his sword to write it out. And what he discovers and what they discover is that it was a big misunderstanding. So it took our young character in the story to bring the other ones together and to stop all the fighting. If you haven't read this one, you've got to get your hands on it. It's a sweet read aloud for sure. Sometimes there are two sides to the story, which is the case with Room on Our Rock and The Tale of Two Beasts. These both have two different perspectives. With Room on Our Rock, you read it one way and then you read it the other way to hear the other perspective. With The Tale of Two Beasts, you read from the little girl's point of view as she finds her little beast in the forest, and then it switches gears and it tells from our beast perspective. This one is one, again, that kids love because they get to hear both perspectives and see the misunderstandings that were involved possibly. But what's great is by the end of this one, it's a happy ending as they come back together in the story and discover that they do want to be friends with each other. For those of us who like a twist in the story, Steve, Terror of the Seas is so much fun. You find Steve, you find out that everyone's so scared of Steve throughout the story, and he doesn't understand it, but he's telling how he's not all that big. And then by the end of the story is the twist that you may have to read to find out exactly what happens, but kids love that twist at the end, and I love that even at the very end there's some scientific information to share with kids after they've read the fictional story. I think it's great when a picture book helps children understand how to behave better. We have Best Behavior, and we have Miss Molly's School of Manners. We also have one called Mind Your Manners. And with this one, what I like is that it rhymes and that it's fun, that there's lots of pictures. You can really look around at everything that's happening in the story. And at the beginning, no one is using good manners. And you can tell it's messy and things are going on that shouldn't be. And through the story, it's teaching how to not be greedy, how to chew with your mouth closed, how to not make a mess, how to share, all those type of things. And by the end of it, what's great is that everything is much more pleasant. So with the rhyme and with the story and how it develops, then they can almost make a comparison of how things look and how much easier it is to get along with everybody when it's like this. So a great tool for teaching manners to kids.